welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the lower semifinals of the StarCraft Evolution League number 6. And big shout out to Dave Testa in the chat. God, Papi God, thank you so much for subscribing for, oh my god, 20 months. That's a lot of months, Papi, a lot of months of support. Thank you so much. We do appreciate it. And welcome one and all to the semifinals. I do apologize for the break, but hope you enjoyed the brutal OST as we have returned and we have our best of 3 TVP. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Troy, we have the South Korean Terran player, the SE2 Terran, representing Streamer Zone. It is a QuanTa. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Brood War Protoss, representing Twisted Minds. It is Classic. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is time to get your gamba going because predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will take the series. It will be Classic or QuanTa, the Protoss, or the Terran. Best of luck. Best of luck in the chat. As a reminder, this is a 4-player spawn map as well. 4 players or 4 spawn locations are possible. And Classic, he does scout towards the south. He does scout vertically and does scout QuanTa immediately as well. So very fortunate for Classic. Fully aware of what his opponent's up to. Meanwhile, settling into this, I was mentioning earlier who was going to be favored in this series. I do still lean towards Classic. Now, Classic, this is not his first time playing. He has competed in SELs in the past in StarCraft Evolution League. He actually is even a StarCraft Evolution League champion. I believe it was like 2 or 3 editions ago. He was a champion and is looking to, again, have a similar performance here to kind of reprise his role as the winner, as the champion of StarCraft Evolution. We'll see if he can do so. We'll see if QuanTa can put us up to him. Oh boy. Here we go. Also, as a reminder, something that I have not actually mentioned this entire cast is the fact that this is the final StarCraft Evolution of the season, because up next in the coming weeks we have the StarCraft Evolution Championship. There is going to be a major event, $1,000 plus prize pool on the line in the championship. There's going to be a group stage. We've already casted the qualifiers. Qualifiers were last week, so from there, group stage into the playoffs, into the finals as well. We will be casting. We won't be casting live. We're going to be casting like a day or two later via replays. Oh boy. So this is the final chance that these players have that they have to gain points to be invited into the main event. Meanwhile, we do see Classic going for his own expansion, going for a gate expand into his Dragoon range. Dragoon range is on the way. Meanwhile, QuanTa back at home getting into his 1-1-1 setup. Looks like QuanTa is now confirming, now does SCV Scout, is aware of Classic spawn location. Is aware. And we have some really fun features here on Troy. So first things first, we have some pseudo island, or we have some island bases, kind of. You can see here, this base is technically not an island, but it is in a way still just kind of sealed off from the rest of the map because of all the cliff faces here, so that the only way to expand in this location is to lift off a CC or to land a worker. So yeah, basically island locations here in between the bases scattered throughout. Likewise, there's also this center location, which is also kind of like an island base. There is a very narrow choke point to gain access to this location. It's also in between all of the corner bases, and you have these gas walls right beside them. We have a lot of these gas geysers. Now, the way this works, as the Dragoons have arrived and they chip away at the bunker, is that if these gas geysers are destroyed, they actually turn into their regular steam vents, like this, their regular gas geysers, and they actually tighten this up. They don't fully wall off, but they make it so that only a worker or only tiny units can actually squeeze through the gas geysers themselves. The simulators are actually smaller than the gas geyser. So that is a bit of a fun fact. So they make this area even more narrow if they are killed. As the Dragoons, they are knocking down those rocks. You see Classic still rallying across the map, is keeping QuanTa contained. Meanwhile, the first tank has arrived. With the help of this tank, QuanTa should be safe and sound. Ooh, massive tank volley goes off, 1 Dragoon falls, and QuanTa holds. Now, we have castled on Troy in the past, and again, this natural base is very defendable, very difficult to push into. But the third, likewise, is also quite difficult to expand to. Outside of the island base, I guess, for Terran, they can't just lift and land. They can lift and land. Classic, there we go. Third CC's on the way to expand here at this triangular location. Meanwhile, behind this is going to be Master Dragoon into Reaver. So Reaver production has begun for Classic. We have the first shuttle. Shuttle speed is on the way. And Classic is going for Reaver drops. Likewise, QuanTa getting to his 1-on-1, getting into Banshee production. Cloak Banshee's on the way. Classic going to be expanding here towards the right-hand side, away from his opponent. And the Banshee has yet to pull the trigger, has yet to really commit into the natural, just waiting for Cloak. Waiting for Cloak to finish up. We can see Classic is just focusing on containing. After he realizes how fortified this location is, just containing QuanTa on 2 bases, at least trying to. And here comes that shuttle. Shuttle behind the mineral line, towards the SCVs. They do scout each other. A Banshee on the shuttle, making his way into the main. Oh, towards the production. And Classic, he does thread the needle. Boys being pulled. Oh no! Oh my god, the workers, they line up. 5 probes go down. And there's another shot. Oh my, 7 SCVs. And counting. 10 SCV kills. Even more going to fall. Meanwhile, at the same time, oh my god, Classic is ready for this. He shuts down the Banshees. He scouted earlier. He was already in position. The Banshees, they get nothing done. That's 11 SCVs. Ay, ay, ay. The Marines will punish this. Oh my god, the shuttle is trapped. Bearing in mind, yeah, there's no way out of this. The shuttle goes down. Reaver falls. That is a massive pickoff, but that was not for free. That was for 11 workers. So you could argue that was worth it here for Classic. Classic does take a worker lead. Meanwhile, the Banshee instead rotates towards the third. It does find some probes. 2 probes go down. Denies mining time. Not bad. Dragoons are trying to keep up. Remember, Dragoons, they are much more immobile compared to Stalkers. They cannot blink. And the Banshee gets away. And at least QuanTa is aware of the third location. So we have a bit of a give and take here. Classic still has a very comfortable worker lead. Ooh, bit of a miss rally. Does run in the Zealots. Finding some stray SCVs as well. Banshee slips into the main, gets 2 more probes, backs off. And from here, Classic, he can build up. Now it's not just Dragoon and Reaver. Now he's working towards the Templar Archives, working towards High Templar and Storm. Banshee getting forced back. Classic is diving back in. The one Reaver does get eyes on the third. No SCVs to kill. QuanTa breaks out. Gets a Dragoon. Classic is aware. He's hunting down the army. Oh! Doesn't quite commit. Turns back around. And so far it's just positional play. So far it's just map control and map awareness between our players. Trying to keep up with any rotation. Classic, he reinforces. And remember, he has those 2 Reavers. Sorry, he has 1 Reaver. Zealots, they dive in. I mean, the Reaver isn't even necessary here. Shot is going to be going off. Up! Ooh. Nice split out of QuanTa. Very nicely done. He pulls away the Marauder. He avoids any kind of splash damage. Meanwhile, we do see across the map 7 probe kills. Oh my god, the 1 Banshee popping off. 1 Banshee gets 7 probes. Reaver gets a mule. Double drop getting in position. Oh! He's going for the shuttle. Oh, the shuttle's under fire. Massive pick off. Reaver goes down. The shuttle does escape, but without the Reaver, I mean, there's not really much here they can do. So QuanTa having some really strong moments here. He gets economic damage. He kills a Reaver. Denies any kind of economic damage as well. So QuanTa is fighting back. He keeps the Banshee alive. He's going for a Doom Drop. Bold move. Doom Drop across the map. At the same time, QuanTa, Classic, he pushes in. And QuanTa is caught with his pants down. The army is out of position. We're going for a base trade. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, this was not the time to move out. A drop on the right. Quadruple drop here towards the natural. And who destroys the building first? How quickly do these buildings go down? Do we get an EMP? Oh, Ghost falls. QuanTa kills the natural. Is there a Reaver here in the main? There are some Zealots. There are a couple of Zealots here. Boys are being pulled. QuanTa trying to hold on. He's running out of units though. Running out of fire. These Zealots are so tanky. Jesus. They take a long time to kill. Likewise, Dragoons are getting picked off, and looks like QuanTa, he's defending back at home. He's cleaning this up. 43 SCVs go down. QuanTa's economy is in shambles. Barely has an economy to speak of. Classic has saved his probes. Has kept them alive. Natural goes down, but there are so many zealots in production. Jesus, just so many zealots. They're popping out. And QuanTa, he cannot deal with this. Yeah, he has to back off. He has to escape. And QuanTa, he's just running out of steam, bleeding out so many marauders. Every single marauder, every single marine. QuanTa, he loses his army, and Classic, he's on a 2-base economy. QuanTa, he's on 1. He's on half a base, really. A third? He's got 9 SCVs. Ay, ay, ay. Mainly has a medevacs left. Again, a very chaotic base trade. Classic comes out on top. QuanTa does have mules, true. Does have mules available. He's got triple orbital. Muling his heart out. If QuanTa had also killed this base as well, this third, then I would say that things would have been a little bit more even, but alas, Nexus survived. So did all the probes. This one cannon was the MVP. It was stopping the buyer from really getting any more damage done. The one cannon. We'll see if QuanTa can try to bounce back here. Moving out with this drop. War Prism, sorry, the shuttle does confirm. I keep saying Prism, god damn it. The shuttle does get eyes on this. Fun fact, because we've been casting so much StarCraft Evolution as Classic's going for a ninja base, that has been actually negatively affecting my casting of StarCraft 2. Specifically, now whenever I refer to a medevac, there's been a couple of times when casting like a Evolution League or some StarCraft 2 tournament, where I've said medic, and then I say medic vac, like I add the vac at the very end after I realize I've said the wrong word. That happened like yesterday, the day before. It's been happening. Ay ay ay. Not like this. I think it's only been happening with the medevac, where I say medic, and then I correct myself. Ay ay ay. Not like this. As the ninja base is found, not bad, is denied. Medics isn't that bad. Like, well, it's like I'm casting and then like a drop goes down, and I'm like, oh, he got the medic back. That's been happening. That's been happening. As QuanTa is still looking for more expansions. Classic resaturating, building up, getting a death ball of an army. Storm is done, and Classic, he can push in. You can break this position. Earlier there were tanks and bunkers, now there's almost nothing left. QuanTa is hoping to force Classic to stay back at home, but Classic doesn't care. He commits. It dives off the ramp, a massive EMP here on the Zealots, but there's just so much more behind this. And Classic is looking to overwhelm. And QuanTa just doesn't have enough to keep himself going. Storms are going to be connecting as well. There's so many storms. It's like 6 High Templar. QuanTa does land 1 EMP. Oof. But the storms, they still connect. The natural has been broken. Pushing through this choke point can be brutal, but another storm comes in. GG gets called. And Classic takes game number 1. GG. GG. Does take the first game, but it was still a very intense game as well. Classic definitely had some nice micro moments, but likewise QuanTa, if you recall, he was able to catch the first shuttle, get the first Reaver kill as well, get his third up and running, get so many probe kills with the Banshee harass as well. It was back and forth. They had their moments. Both players, they had their moments. In the end, GG, well played. Classic takes the lead, and now we're getting ready for game number 2. Let's go. Meanwhile, shout out to Tater Tutor in the chat. Thank you so much. Papi God, thank you so much for the gifted sub. Shout out to Saijo Senpai for receiving the sub. Arigato. Thank you so much, Senpai. Hope you enjoy the sub, hope you enjoy the emotes, hope you enjoy the content and the replay packs as well. We do hand out replay packs to all of our subscribers on Discord, so if you wish, you can join our Discord server. There is a channel where we do hand out those replay packs if you are interested. Otherwise, we're getting into that second game. The Senpai. I used to call War Prism shuttles accidentally like forever. I haven't done the reverse yet. I've yet to call a War Prism a shuttle. I haven't done that yet. Obviously, I've done the opposite. Calling shuttles prisms. I think I've called a Firebat a Hellbat. I think that's happened like once or twice. But here we go. Oh, one that I do struggle with is spine crawlers, because they're sunken colonies here. But I've definitely said spines many a time. But here we go. We're getting into our next game and spawning in the top center half here of Sylphid. We have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing his new team, Streamer Zone. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. It is QuanTa. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss representing Twisted Minds, leading the series 1-0. It is Classic. Dropship and medevac. Oh, that's easy. That's a little bit easier, just because they're functionally quite different. I don't think I've called dropships medevacs yet. Spores are easy because spore colonies and spores are the same. You just call them spores. But here we go. SCV is moving out. SCV is moving out. As a reminder, this is a 3-player spawn map. We do have the top center base, bottom right, and bottom left as well. And we do see Classic actually setting up for a proxy. Does go towards top left. Likewise, QuanTa will scout, will confirm, and we'll see if QuanTa does manage to count the pylons and get a read on the proxy that's being set up, as the pylon has been placed for Classic. SCV does wander in. And the longer this goes on, the more suspicious QuanTa's going to be, because he's like, hold up, where is that second pylon? What exactly is going on? As you can see, Classic, he was supply block. Now he breaks out of the supply block with that pylon. QuanTa should be aware that it is missing. Yeah, he's looking for that pylon. The Zealot has arrived. Cybercore's about to finish up. And do we go for the proxy Stargate? We do. The Stargate is on the way. Now, I imagine this is just for proxy Oracle to get into the mineral lines and to wreak havoc here in the economy. This could otherwise be proxy Void Ray, only if the probe does. I mean, oh, actually, he doesn't know. I just realized. Classic doesn't know where he is. Now he does. He scouts. Classic is looking for the spawn location. Now he's fully aware. Very fortunate. Actually, a little bit closer to the proxy. So, Classic was gambling. Did gamble very hard. Did work out. Stalker moves out. QuanTa setting up back at home. Bunker is done. Academy's on the way for Sim. And here comes that Oracle. Yeah, so just proxy Oracle just to get some economic damage done. If the Marines are out of position, then SCVs, they can be focused down quite quickly. We'll see if QuanTa can hold. Can we hold, man? Can we hold? As Classic does get behind the mineral line, Marines start stepping forward. Up! So far, nice control here by QuanTa. Will stutter step down and will focus down the Stalker. The Stalker falls, so does Zealot. Very nice defense. But what about the main? Oh, Marines are in position. Let's go. QuanTa. He's ready. Only 3 Marines. We have reinforcements on the way. All 3 Marines go down. 4th Marine has arrived. SCV is now going to be falling. Getting 1, getting 2 SCV kills. Getting a 3rd SCV. And QuanTa just getting pulled apart. And Classic is not done. There is a second Oracle on the way that just spawned in. QuanTa has to reposition. Likewise, Classic rotating around. Scouting throughout the map. And now we'll expand. And in a way, Classic, his expansion is late. True, this is a late Nexus for Classic, but because of the proxy, because of the SCV kills, I mean, that does make up for it. Does make up for the late expansion. Double Oracle working its way towards right hand side. Third Oracle's on the way. Oh my god, very committed here by Classic. Very committed. Turrets are on the way. One in each mineral line. He's boosting in. The turret's not ready. It's barely not ready. Stim is done, but the Marines are being focused down one after the other. Turret does finish up. Reinforcements have arrived. Not bad. They get one, they get two. Two Oracles and two Workers. That was not worth it for Classic. Ay, ay, ay. Did kill a lot of Marines. But that was quite gas intensive here for Classic. Does lose map control down to one Oracle. Has to back off. And now we can settle in. We can settle into our game. QuanTa now massing up a stronger army, a stronger force. Classic getting a third, but can he hold on to it? Can he hold on to that third base? QuanTa getting his own third CC, does not throw down extra Raxes or a factory. Getting into a longer macro game. Is still moving out. We'll see what he can accomplish. Classic, he has two Stalkers, two Sentries. This natural base looking quite heavily defended, especially with the overcharge. He should be fine. What about the third, though? That's the question. What about the third base? And does QuanTa check? He does rotate, does check the third, does get eyes on it. And he does stim in. Gets a pylon, going for the Nexus. Stalkers, the ground army does respond. That's 3 Zealots. And QuanTa, I don't know if he can really take the head-on fight. Stimming once again. Oh my god, the medics, they pop off. Nothing dies. Jesus. There we go. Does focus on one of the sentries, catching out Classic, dragging him out of position. Very nice catch here by QuanTa. Gets the sentries, gets most of the Zealots. Sims on in, takes down the final Oracle. And Classic caught out in the open. Not with the shield battery, not with the overcharge. Down to 3 Stalkers, down to 2. Soon to be 1. Soon to be none. Yeah, the final Stalker goes down. Massive pickoffs. Third base survives, but QuanTa, you can always just turn back around and focus it down, or you can just go for the kill and go for the natural. Scans ahead of time. Got the power of the Marine. They're cracked. Sims in once again, going for the shield battery. Boys are being pulled. They have to be. Probes are falling. Again, down to 2 Stalkers. There's another warp in. It doesn't finish. Ooh, it's denied. But the Colossus does make it out, and QuanTa, he has to respect it. Now this means this wasn't quite worth it, or I should say towards the end. He got 3 probes, but doesn't break the natural, and that means the third base survives. Third base does survive. Classic holds. That was very close, though. That was a very close hold. And Classic, he's still up in probes. He's up 10 workers, has a third base. QuanTa's getting his own third on location. Just now landed over. And we're getting into the mid-game. Just a very intense couple of moments here. We're getting into the mid-game. I do want to give the edge to QuanTa just because he was able to shut down all the Oracles, and he did trade very well against the Stalker army. Like, the support for the Colossus is barely there. Because so many Stalkers went down, ideally they want to build up over time. You want to preserve your warp-ins. But, alas, Classic is down to 4. Down to 4 Stalkers. The Colossus count is getting higher, though. QuanTa's getting ready for another push. Taking into tank production. Siege mode is on the way. QuanTa moving forward. I don't think he can break the army, but he can try to hit the mineral line. He's rotating over. Scans ahead of time. Gets a shield battery. Oh, let's go. Gets the flare. Was flare researched? Yeah, it was. Was researched. What did it connect with? That I'm less certain of. QuanTa backs up. So if I recall correctly, I believe flare reduces the vision of a unit to 1. Of course, it can use the vision of other units. But here we go. All the Colossus, they do engage. Oh! Massive volleys here on the Marines. Forcing back the army, getting the tank. Not bad. Oh, the tank. Get out of here. Oof. Yeah, massive pick off. Tank does go down. Also does stop detection for detector. True. It does blind the detectors. There is the one tank on the high ground. QuanTa does hold, but he bled out a lot of units here in the retreat. As classic as gain map control, QuanTa forced to be back at home, building up more tanks, taking a more defensive stance. Lockdown is being researched. Do love to see it. Lockdown is on the way. Getting into ghost production. Now, we have seen the power of Lockdown as well. They can completely just shut down a heavy tech army like this, like Colossus. Man, you thought Disables were good. You thought Interference Matrix was good. No, no, no. Lockdowns, man. They're crazy. Bunker goes down. Oof. Does fall to the Colossus. How many ghosts are out? Just one ghost for now. 4 more ghosts on the way. They need time for energy as well. And Classic is pushing in. Yeah, the ghosts are not ready. Classic going for the kill. Jesus, with 4 Colossus. Zealous get into the mineral line. The ghost is still building up energy. At the same time, QuanTa going for the drop into the mineral line. 15 SCVs going down. Oh, Jesus, the entire mineral line does fall. And the ghosts are being zoned away by the Zealots. The ghosts, they want to get on top of the Colossus, but they can't. Yeah, some brutal losses here for QuanTa. The ghosts, they're falling one after the other. Brutal losses. And now there's no answer. That was the answer to the Colossus, and they all go down. There's the first lockdown, but it's only one ghost. Oof. Again, imagine if every Colossus was locked down. Even the Archons as well. There was like 8 ghosts. But it looks like Classic has done it. He breaks the natural. Pushing into the main, getting on top of the production. And QuanTa is just locked out. He's just locked out of his own main. He cannot respond. Classic, he just makes his way further in. Gets into the mineral line. QuanTa coming in from behind. Oh, but that's a brutal choke point. Pushing into 3 Colossus is just not going to work. He just cannot. There's another lockdown. He wants in. Let him in, Papi. Let him in. He can't. And the main base, it has been compromised. It's 25 SCV kills, the production, the tech, it's all going down. And QuanTa has to go for a big counterattack, but this is a late realization from QuanTa. A late response. And Classic, he can always recall. Unlike his brutal counterpart, which needs an Arbiter, I mean, recall is available. QuanTa stimming across the map, there's the recall. Classic is in position. Oof. And QuanTa just can't do much against this. That's 5 Colossus. Jeez. There's the 6th on the way. He's crazy. And again, QuanTa, he had the army to deal with this. He was just out of position, right? If you remember, like, it was 8 or 9 ghosts that were locked in the main, and they just could not engage. Oof. Yeah, the Colossus wipes are brutal. GG gets called, and Classic, he will take the series at 2-0. Will take down QuanTa, advance on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. Can't lock down the Archons and Mechanical. Oh, yeah, true, yeah. Just the Colossus. GG, well played. But again, QuanTa, unfortunately, he just needed a couple more moments, a couple more seconds to actually get those ghosts out, to actually get them with the main army. Unfortunately, just because of the composition as well, he had no dropships. He had no way to try to either ferry the ghosts to the other side or ferry the main army to the other side instead. So his army was just completely cut off, was split off, and GG. GG, well played. Classic does take it. But a shout out to QuanTa because he was able to hold his own, and he definitely did have his own moments in this series as well, both in Game 1 and in Game 2. Regardless, GG, well played. We have our 2 finalists. It's going to be a best of 5 grand finals between Classic and 3 Point. Let's go. We have our finals. Do just need a moment to set that up. as vetoes are underway. Again, 3 Point has been patiently waiting this entire time. I'm sure tuning into some of those matches, tuning into some of Classic's games. Brutal Buy just melts the Colossus. Yeah. I mean, as we mentioned again, a lot of it did come down to, unfortunately, the Ghost just couldn't be a part of the fight, right? I'm sure the fight could have gone very heavily in favor of QuanTa if he was able to get them out. If he was able to get them out. GG, well played. Meanwhile, we are just getting ready for those finals. We might just go on a short break just because our players, they do need some time to get their vetoes going. They do need some time, so we're going to be going on a short break. And when we come back, we will have our final series of the night. See you guys in a couple of minutes. See you soon.